This is a reaction to the chasing away of NATEMBEYA from Moses Malulu Injendi's funeral. I did not like it. I castigate it in the strongest language. Kwa Kiswahili tunasema na kashifu kwa lugha kali sana. I am a strong believer in anybody coming to the funeral. I've not been in charge of many funerals, but we have had several funerals in Lando's home. The last one being Lando himself. Of course, a few days after Lando had died, I lost a sister-in-law within the Lando family. Now, it is a few days because the night I wanted to leave that place, leave home, Lando's celebration. There is a celebration that happens a few days after burial. So I wanted to, it is supposed to end by noon, but somehow it ended at 3 p.m. So I saw 3 p.m. leaving I would not reach where I was going. So I slept. And 3 a.m., 12 hours after we had declared that, we had a second funeral. The only thing that I've been having, let's say, in the Lando's home is that, for example, I've just talked about a sister-in-law. I always, okay, my relative who had lost his wife had more say than I, but usually my view is that from our side I don't encourage anybody being stopped from, unless and until we have had cases of the Congolese people, that is Papa Wemba and Kofi Olomide. One time they were not on good terms, and each one swore, said, if I die, don't come to my funeral. And the other one also said, if I die, don't come to my funeral. So when Papa Wemba died, Kofi Olomide never went for the funeral, even up to today. And of course, when Kofi Olomide will die, Papa Wemba will not attend his funeral. Such cases where it is openly known that the deceased had expressed need not to have this person attend his funeral, or if there is an active police case and you are a suspect to have killed that person, or when he was alive you threatened him, I'll kill you. That one I would definitely stop you from attending that. Unless, okay, you can threaten somebody that you'll kill him, and then later you forgive each other. Your forgiveness to that person is stronger than me, the third party. So basically, I'm trying to say that in things such as funerals, I don't encourage anybody being blocked from planning for the funeral. I don't stop anybody from contributing for the funeral and even attending the funeral, unless there is such things as I've said. They had sworn, don't ever come to my funeral. That one, such things, yeah. But any other thing, even if it is they were fighting or anything, to me there is only one way of reversing that. The person you threatened that you'll kill, if that person tells you that he has forgiven you or she has forgiven, then to me that one is okay. You can attend the funeral. But anybody, even in fact, to me, I believe that so and so's sworn enemy is the one who is even supposed to come, because I told you the other day that my stepmother, who brought me up, said that in Luhya funerals, when you see people wailing and whatever, you just go listen to what they are. I've even heard of cases where somebody cries to the dead one and says, we were sworn enemies. Why didn't you wait for us to forgive each other? Then you go your way. You don't know whether that person is coming. Okay, you can search him in his pocket if he has juju, if that one will please you, that is. So to me, I'm always for the idea that such issues should not. To me, such issues should not be. To me, such issues should not stop anybody from going to the funeral. I want also to say there that, and it is a very special case, this one, because personally, there is very little positive I can talk about both. There is very little positive I can talk about Malulu Injendi, and there is very little positive I can talk about uh, NATEMBEYA. But maybe NATEMBEYA was the right person to go to the funeral, because if the truth has to be told, then NATEMBEYA had has NATEMBEYA has the same funeral characteristics such as the late Malulu. These are politicians whom I believe that, for lack of any example, but supposing God makes people not to die for the next 5 years, these people would lack place to go and use funerals for political gains. It is also unfair that when it is also unfair that when Senator Wetangula and Honorable, uh, actually both of them are Wetangula because their father is Wetangula, but Moses Masika and the Westlands MP, when their father died, and Wanyonyi, Timothy Wanyonyi Wetangula, and Moses Masika Wetangula, when they lost their mother, uh, it was really shameful what NATEMBEYA did. To be brief, although some people, there are those people who take a side and then reason, but some of us reason and then take a side. I'm not trying to say that Ishungwa has talked well or anything. He also talked bad, but the person who talked bad than the other one, we have people who say that kukosea kosa si kosa, kurudia kosa ndio kosa. Then that one makes Ichungwa's mistake to be bigger than this other fellow, because Ichungwa was reacting to the original crime, the original sin. But then the original sin, a person like when the mother of the two honorable members, when their mother died, uh, of course people contributed money, whatever. But then when you contribute to medical, contribute to education, you contribute to what? Those two, and funeral. You don't tell people what you have contributed. In fact, this is one of the cases where the left hand should not know what the right hand has given. In fact, like our WhatsApp group or other groups, we put their names so for accountability purpose only. Accountability purpose only. But if we were very sure of our treasurers and we were sure that they would not do anything or whatever, I don't see any reason why we would not have left everything. I don't see any reason why we would have left everything to. I don't see anything we would have left that to be the secret between you, the treasurer, and the. So what I would appeal to people like the Malava people, I would also want to appeal to other Kenyans, people of that level or what reasoning, just allow anybody and everybody to come and mourn. I've seen in Malava and other places, uh, Actually, it is funny that the day Malulu died, the following day somebody wrote to me on WhatsApp because we have never been friends. And somebody wrote to me in WhatsApp and said, I'm sure you are happy. Just imagine somebody with post Form 4 education. Just when we were talking other things, and he he replied to one of the comments which had nothing to do with, just said, I'm sure you are happy. I knew what he meant because I know Luhia, but I pretended and asked him, happy for what? He didn't answer me. So that is how it is. And Luhyas have the greatest number of funeral prefects. Everybody wants to say this and that. And one of the problems that let us stop blaming outsiders. If you control, even in your house, if you are all the time quarreling with your spouse and outsiders come, and then later on you come and say, you see, it is the outsiders who are, outsiders cannot spoil your place if you take a place and you control it from letter A. Outsiders just come because you have failed and you let them in. So from today onwards, lawyers, please uh, stop remember political prefectship. Yes, if someone has said, if someone has said, even if you are very sure that so and so did not kill so and so, but if someone tells you that nikikufa, you don't come to my funeral, that is enough to stop, unless there is evidence that they have reconciled. But any other thing, you, I remember the last time I was given, it was in 1999. Yeah, it was 1999, where I had disagreed with somebody from my Vaengere clan. Actually, I had money, and he wanted me to use that money to construct his house in Kitale, and I wanted to invest that money in a business. So we talked, and whatever. When I saw the way he was talking, I just kept quiet and went and used the money the way I had planned. And then we disagreed. We said, okay, we are going to be friends, but whatever, whatever. So I was residing in his place, and we mutually agreed that I move out immediately. I moved out immediately the same day. Then later he died of a heart attack. People said, do you remember there was a time you quarreled? Actually, you don't even quarrel. It is because you wanted to use my. So that is what I'm trying to say. From 1999, I don't think there is such a thing to me. But I've been hearing other places, and I've even been telling people, please don't do that. I started by saying that we have had funerals in the Landos place. We have ladies. Actually, um, in Lando's family, uh, the female gender are dying more than the male gender. So my mother was buried in Karatina area, huko Wamonyoro. Before you reach Wamonyoro, you'll reach a place called Kayaba. When you're coming from everywhere, 90% of the people who go to Wamonyoro must pass through Kayaba. When my mother was buried in Kayaba, Kikuyus have a very good funeral program. Kikuyus have a very good funeral program, and I liked the way they conducted the funeral of my mother. Uh, that is another story for another. But I'm talking of Luhya land. Luhya land, when we had all those funerals, including Lando himself, we the sons of Lando, usually whenever we decide anything, we decide equally. Me, I'm just the spokesman. I am just the spokesman. And I tell you, hiyo kazi ni ngumu. Hiyo kazi ni ngumu because we are 5 brothers. There are occasions when we have something. Uh, most of the things we agree. Most of the things we agree, over 60%. 30% we disagree. But that one we postponed as much as possible so that we agree, and later on we get a vote. We get us to a situation where, for example, 2 against 3. 2 of us are saying let us go this direction. 3 are saying let us go to this direction. And I am one of the 2. This is now the problem with being a spokesman. I'm one of the 2. since the three can decide, okay, it will be this way, then we all agree. Then what I do next, and I think other spokesmen will have to follow that, is that we now internalize the whole thing. We now come up with a family picture. You say everything. So you find there are even occasions when one or two people have even called me aside and, do you believe in this? I said, that is the stand that has been taken by, and it stands. So I just tear it as if it is my stand. That is what happens with. Usually we do that, but and then I said that many ladies have died in the land of family more than men. I've always said that when it comes to that, that the lady comes from somewhere. So her people may come up with their list, which they say so and so should not come. So that one in the land of family, we agree with it without even debating. If they talk of somebody from their place and say so and so, whatever, we just tell them your people have said this. We don't vet people or condition of people who will come from the where the lady was born. That is the only difference. But people from our place, we just say anybody and everybody. Actually, we say those people who are sworn enemy of the deceased are the ones who are. And we have had cases like when my father died. There are those people who are talking. They talked openly, and I laughed, and it was a celebration of life. And I remember telling people, it is even on my channel. I recorded. I said, uh, we want people to come here. Nobody's being stopped from coming here, and nobody is stopped from talking anything here, so long as it is not abusive to the deceased or to people who are there. Because if you say left is bad and then left comes and says right is bad, then you start arguing there. So that is what we have been doing. So the people, of course, Malulu Njendi's funeral is almost over. Everything is almost over through. I would only ask. Future funerals and whatever. On one side, those who are coming have decorum. Have decorum. Actually, if you were a sworn enemy of the deceased or even a member of the family, uh, you have to come hmm, meekly. Is it called meekly? You have to come meekly, and you have to stay next to the door, so that at any sign of tension, you just go. But those people who are there, I've had many cases where uh, people transfer their personal hatred as if it belongs to those who people transfer their personal hatred. It becomes as though uh, those who are coming should be vetted by. It may make some sense, although I say that the enemies are the ones who are supposed to come and make peace. But the enemy of the deceased, if is told not to come, uh, maybe it can be understood. But why should you, a brother of the deceased, say your enemy should not come there? Why? Why? Ah, very embarrassing, and it should not be repeated. Thank you.